Oh, baby, I'm spaced out over you. I don't know what to do. I could search the universe in the galaxy of stars, but I'd never find one who is lovely as you are. Hitting you with that little bit of dramatics. Blue Argonite, baby. Blue Argonite. Power of the Blue Argonite. All right, Mug, you get heavy after a minute. Getting a little stronger, though. Well, welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am Big Pontiac. This is my co-host, Nobody's Fool, and he's nobody's fool. But I am also the holder of the sacred infinite ball game that was created by the Hero Twins. And I am your one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of the Chocolate Mountaineers on this galactic patio that goes from Minnesota to the universe. And tonight, highlight beer, and I'm so sad I couldn't get more. Tonight's highlight beer is Boulder Beer Chocolate Shake, probably the best beer in the United States. Drinking in, what do we call this kind of style? Old beer mug style. And once I open the can, the chocolate aroma comes out. And then as I present the Killian's mug, and you start seeing those golden, amber, and chocolate hues, you just wish you were me right now. You just wish you were me holding this Gillian's mug. Would you do not have one? Only I have this one. And even though I've got all the funky edibles, I'm still gonna hit this. Or not. It's about due for a charge. But this evening is only when I first started using it. You better blow that shit out. So, pop 'em if you got them, smoke them if you want them. I'm gonna be smoked out. Somebody's either cloaking my lighter, something's going on, but I'm burning this sage too. My torch lights this shit a lot better. But it's been burned for a minute, so clearing my area. And I hope everybody, I hope everybody's dreams was smooth during the day out of time. Now I was able to reflect and kind of project on what I'm anticipating happen this next year. Because tomorrow will be the first day of the Mayan calendars. And so however you can use it is on you. If you use it at all, that shit is on you. You don't use it, don't mean one thing to me or another. Brother James Gant, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Brisk Clown, thank you for coming in. I got a call at an early night though. Okay, bet. But thank you for at least coming in. I appreciate it. Amos Valerie, thank you. Vodka, thank you. Very, very kind words. Very kind words. Played pickleball again. Got another 3 miles of playing in. Played 7-8 games again. The weather was super nice in the mid 70s. Very, not overbearingly hot. Monday's gonna be in the 90s again. But today was mild. Now we're supposed to get rain tonight, but it looks like the warmer weather is going to seep in. It's going to be 90s. I think the next couple of days supposed to be in the mid 80s. Rain they call each day, but again, if it's sunny enough, it holds the rain off. Oh my goodness. So mad I didn't buy the whole case last night. Oh my goodness. And my trusty acid cigar. It was a big one. It looked like Groucho Marx. Hey, Sherlita, thank you for joining me. So nice to hear from you and see you. Thank you. And so got to do that today. Got to get my thing in with that. I don't even know if how do I put this next topic without revealing too much? Because I still am a parent. You try not to make the same mistakes. And sometimes trying not to, it's like, you're in a boat and the boats, the big boat's about to sink and you got all these people wanting you to save them. And it's like, you have to look at like, how do I save myself at first? How do I get balance? And being a parent, sometimes you have to throw the balance off. Now, we know this world can be unequal because if you start bringing people into your business, it becomes unequal very quickly, especially in a state like this. They'll tolerate a lot given their others. Hey, Ciova. Both the Heat and the Celtics played trash. Man, the Celtics throw the ball away. It was the Jimmy Butler show. All of a sudden, ain't no double teams on him, ain't no zones. He gets one-on-one looks. The big man is guarding him, and he just takes a couple dribbles and dribbles back around the free throw line area. Then he dribbles back in, and no big dude can test him, just a smaller player. I mean, come on. And I always thought everybody, I know PJ thinks that Butler is Michael Jordan's son. I always thought he looked like Jamie Foxx. I really did. Especially when he first came to the league, he looked like Jamie Foxx. I mean, bigger dude, of course. But he very well could be Michael Jordan's son. Can't put nothing past him. Hey, Conspiracy, what's happening, man? Thank you for joining me. And yeah, see, I'm gonna make when I get the Chocolate Mountaineer shirts made, I'll send you one too. I'm gonna definitely send you one. Jimmy's knee magically healed. That says it right there. His knee magically healed. Magically healed. Yeah, and he set out a game. And they set him out of game just for saying it's swelling. You know, inflammation just swelling up. So, yeah, that's a good point. And they want the money. There's more money in the 7-game series. Lobo's the one that said it perfect. Lobo said, make them play 7 so Golden State get another couple of days of rest. Because the championship starts Wednesday the 1st, I think, is the first game of the NBA. So it's giving Golden State a few more days of rest. And I think Lobo called that out. So good point. But I still think I'm gonna take the bet, regardless who they play, that I made that bet today. Warriors in 4. Warriors in 4. So we'll see. We'll see if I hit that or not. But I'll put that in. Like, hey, who's doing Warriors in 4? So dude called me back. I'm doing it. I got you covered. Don't quite work like that. I be telling people about betting and shit. They like think of the old days. Well, who's your bookie? You don't need that anymore. You don't need a bookie anymore. And now the leagues are cooperated with with the gambling. Either of those teams are likely to get swept the way they play. I mean, if Boston keeps turning the ball over, it's like they'll turn it over 2-3 times in a row. And then the fouling on purpose, the charging on purpose. I'll say the only shots that really looked funny was that last 3 Jimmy Butler hit where they took the ball out of bounds and he shot it. That one looked manipulated. That one looked manipulated. It was a few more, but again, you saturate this stuff and it's like it takes the meaning away a little bit. Oh, you just don't think none of the guys can play. Well, it's not that. But some of them shots, they don't be hitting without help. I'll say that. Yeah, funky fadeaway. Yeah. And I don't even think it was a 3. I think it was only a 2 because I think he was on the line. So that one definitely was manipulated. And it was a moment where the Heat players was kind of on the bench. It was like what I saw with Clay last night. The Heat players was on the bench and they kind of gave that look like you kind of looked like they knew something. It was where they looked at each other. It was like it wasn't the full bust out cheese, but they kind of like gave that little smile. Again, not trying to give it away because they know the camera could be on them, but it was the same thing like Clay. It was that smile of knowing the outcome, that they're gonna live another day. And I still don't I still stay with that. I think they're gonna push Boston. You see how they really want to do the games. They want to do this one to be a blowout. It's like they can't control the games without being blowouts. And then get it close right at the end, But it was what, 13-point lead at one point. So not a very good game. Yeah, sloppy, bad shooting. What about Kyle? Oh my goodness. Everyone. The last one he shot from like the elbow side of the free throw line, at the 3. Obviously, that one was. His form isn't bad, but his just to believe that cat can be a consistent shooter is just not believable. That ain't never been his game. If that ain't never been your game, that's not your game. And when I follow you like that, when he hit more than 3, yeah, all his shots was manipulated. Wapo, how you doing? I think they just wanted the game 7, but Celtics are going to the finals, to my humble opinion. Yeah, that thing they showed yesterday. And somebody, I'll say this, and somebody commented, and they said they're right. I missed in the Celtics brand, it's not only the one eye, It's the, as above, so below. It's also that. That was a good catch. Whoever wrote that, shout out to you. And then as the opposite is true, as above, so below. It's the same kind of thing. It's like, okay, what's up there? Okay, it does affect us, but what we do down here affects y'all too. So, but yeah, I think that's. I mean, it's good ratings to go 7. It's really good ratings to go 7, but I think, as I mentioned, I think Lobo called it right. It give Golden State a little more rest. But Silva said it best. Jimmy Butler's knee ain't bothering him, so he needed just to rest him a couple days or something. I mean, it's just beyond ridiculous, these fake injuries. And it's supposed to be a tech for flopping, and yet we still got guys flopping left and right. Yeah. I don't know what happened to my lighter, my torch. Yeah, it was. Yeah, like my son wanted me. They made fun of Kyle on social media for having a big butt. And he ain't that much taller than me. He only about 6'1". So that cat, how that cat hangs in the league is just blows your mind when you look at dudes hooping in the G League. It's like, really, should have been cut and young dudes took his place. But what happens, as I said before, what happens is a lot of dudes can't play the role. And so that's why they keep these old dudes around, because they played this role. As I said, with Chris Paul, the lovable loser, same with Kyle. They gave him one, which is interesting, but no national commercials. He ain't never been a nationwide known dude. He's hid in Canada for years, losing to LeBron every year. So they let him go through it, one with Kawhi. And I don't even know why they traded for it. Makes no sense. Kyrie chunky as hell, like Luka. He is, and it makes you wonder about him being out of shape. Randy Farley crazy. I've noticed this since I can remember. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. There has been a former New York Knicks player in every single NBA final in the last 75 years. The Miami Heat don't have one. Boston has one former Knicks player. And I did not know that. Wow. Now, that don't necessarily mean they won, but they had once played with the Knicks. Because, shit, I want to say Spencer Haywood played with the Knicks at one point. Saad McAdoo, I think at one point, played with the Knicks too when they started bouncing by McAdoo. Kyle chunky as hell like Luka, yeah. He is signed with the Heat, I think. Yeah, he signed with the Heat. Yep. Wow. I did not know that. That is interesting. Because again, wasn't the first in the finals was the first game was New York and Toronto. That was the very first NBA game, was New York and Toronto, where it was truly, a league in North America, So Canada's always been part of it when it started. Hey, United Drills of America, what's happening? Black Trunks, what's happening? Thank you for joining me. And so that's why you see these older players hanging around. They're able to play the part better. They try to experiment with younger dudes, and some younger dudes just can't play the part. The ego get involved. As I said, I had a friend play the Globetrotters. He played for the Washington Generals and scored 50, but they still lost. But he scored 50. They let him score 50. He was going at it, hitting threes. He was going at it. They still lost. So do you see my point, how easy it is to play the role? Celtics in 7. Yeah, I think you might be right with that. I think that's probably the best bet too. That's what it looks like. They want the Celtics and the Warriors. More marketable. As it is told, a Canadian invented basketball. Well, not really. He looked in the Mayan courts and he saw. Like they only show you the mine courts with the thing like this, which you can tell they've been put up there. But they went every way. They went like this too. You can find them like that too. Wasn't just like this and you bump it with your hip. Come on, that's propaganda. Every way that it could go in the hoop, you could go in the hoop. That's why the story about killing the captains is that's some made up shit to not want you to play it. They had every level. They had children playing with children. That's why they had some of the children courts too. They had women playing against women in the Americas that played this sport. So there he goes. Smart through the game. Let's go Miami. Yeah, SD loves him. NBA threw a curveball today, especially to the bettors. They especially to the bettors. On the last play, Celtics moving on. Jimmy NBA Finals MVP. If he make it, we'll see if he make it. I learned something new every day. Thanks for the heads up. NBA wants Celtics in the finals. Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely want the Celtics in the finals. No doubt about that. It's the marketable thing. It's history, more history. Older franchises, even though they moved to San Francisco, which is kind of they originally the San Francisco when they first moved out of LA. When they moved to Oakland, they changed the name to Golden State. So. And Wilt and Nate Thurman played together for a little while, a season or two. Miami ain't losing now? Okay. This was the Celtics' chance. I don't know. I think it's going to be their chance Sunday, too. We'll see. I think they're going to – it seems like they're going to push them through. They're a lot more marketable, but we'll see. In their 75th season, best way to have them in the 75 finals. Celtics and Warriors in their 76th season, the best way to have them in the 75 finals. Yeah, because the Warriors, just because they moved to California, they started the season. They haven't missed a season since 47, I believe. Whoops. Yeah, Heat only 34 years old. Yep. Heat beat Celtics in Game 7-12 to advance the finals. Going to reverse this. Good point. I remember that game. But Steph is 34 years old, too. Yeah, he got old as shit pretty quick. And being only 6'2", 6'3", how durable is he? He ain't very durable anymore. Seems like the NBA is ready to push LeBron and his old ass out the way. If you notice, the spotlight has been more on the young players the last few years. Morant, Luka, Trey, Tatum. I don't know. National commercials still speaks for the NBA. And LeBron, in the beginning of the season, was in a lot of national commercials. So that's what it's about right there. That even though visually they're in commercials, when they're in them commercials, they represent the NBA. So I don't know if they're ready to let him go yet. And seeing Brady come back and play another year, LeBron definitely is coming back when his son playing. They showed you in the Gatorade commercial. Go back and look at that Gatorade commercial. It's probably still there. Now Miami wins at home 2012. I don't think so, but we'll see. NBA will still give Nets, Chip, Clippers titles. The NBA still got to give. I don't know. The only ABA team that's won it has been San Antonio. Don't think they're going to give it to them yet. Well, the Clippers was San Diego Clippers. They wasn't in the ABA. So, but they ain't won it. They tend not to, when they ain't won it, they tend not to win it. That's just the way the NBA kind of does it. Yeah, Toronto got a new one, but again, as I said before, Toronto played in the first game, one of the original franchises. Even though they wasn't operating very long, they were still one of the early franchises. So that was why they got it. Cursed teams will win. That's funny. That is funny. Jimmy Butler had a big game 6 like LeBron in 12 versus the Celtics. Yeah, what do you have, 47? I think he ended up with 47. Clippers will make the finals in their own arena. Okay, but that doesn't make any sense. Oh, you saying when the Lakers move out? When the Lakers move out? Hey, Edward, how you doing? What do you think about the Lakers coaching move? That's a good question. Devin, I've known him since, let me see, him and John. Him and John Buchanan played together. John was coaching high school at my high school. But so yeah, I've known Devin for a long time. Happy to see him. Like, what was it? Somebody told me where he played. I always said it was Wyoming or somewhere, but it wasn't that. But remember, Devin broke the backboard, and Devin played with LeBron. So Devin's played with LeBron. LeBron's like cats that he used to play with. So I think it's a pretty good move. Devin's been around the league. Again, he's been one of the top assistants with whatever team he's been on. So he's put in the work. He's been stepped over by other people stepped over him, even though he put in the work. So I think it's a good move. Now, what is this concept? He's looked at more as a defensive scheming person, so we'll have to see how they do that. What will be his specialty fitting in? So, but I think it's a good move. I'm joyful for him. I really am. Guy I've known since he was a teenager. I'm joyful for him. So I'm joyful for Devin. Yep, I think it's a good move. Huh?
Tomato can.
What?
Tomato can.
Shut that goddamn door.
You hear me?
What?
Tomato can.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, bet.
Tell the whole building. When are the Browns and Lions going to appear in the Super Bowl? Never. Never Browns, never Lions. Especially these new Browns. Hey, Macbone Files. How you doing, Brother E? In 2012, Heat won first round 4-1-2, 4-2, third round 4-3. Now Heat won round 1, 4-2. Now 4-3 versus the Celtics. Okay. You thought that one out. Savage is going to give revenge on the Heat. We'll see. Clippers get their own arena being built in 24. It's going to be available. Oh, okay. They're getting their own one. Wow. That place they playing now ain't that old. That place ain't old. Oh, so they're just going to let. Okay. King Kane, that's false. Heat swept the Hawks in the first round in 2012. If Heat wanted to go to the finals, just give the Warriors a championship. Heat have no super officer's threat to keep the Warriors shooting. Easiest finals ever. That was the point was made before the game. Who else is going to score? Who else is going to score? Something bit the shit out of me. Nope. Hawks won game 3. 4-1 over Hawks. Yeah. Miami winning it all. I don't think so. Danville, how you doing? Heat winning it all, but people keep doubting it because of history patterns. Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. I don't see that. Alchemist, Alchemical, how you doing? Do you think Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son? PJ says that all the time. I really thought when he first came to the league, he looked more like Jamie Foxx. I really thought he moved and acted like Jamie Foxx. I don't think Jamie Foxx is old enough to be his father. Well, it probably is, though. He probably is. Jamie Foxx in his 40s, so. But very well could be. Same size dude, same athletic build. Could be, very well. Jimmy Butler, 22, like 2022. I forgot they won dumbass game by 1. You're right. Just like 2025, Lakers versus Heat, easy finals. Yeah, it kind of was. But that's the thing they were showing before the game. Who else going to score? Jimmy Butler don't score. You see, Jimmy Butler didn't even play. How they were struggling. So, something to consider. Something that's got to be considered. I just think TV-wise, it makes more advertisement. Now, it's going to be a certain amount of advertisement no matter who's put up. But I just think putting up those two teams is going to generate a little more buzz for everybody. So, Danville. Last team to win Sixth Man of the Year and championship was 26 years ago. That was Chicago Bulls, and then number one seed. 26 years later, Tyler is sixth man, and the Heat are number one. Good point. Thank you for that. Whoops. Now Curry 30, which is number 3 finals, wins and loses 0 finals. MVPs, they lowly push the Curry leg injury. I still think it's going to be the Warriors. It would be a better series between the Boston and the Warriors. Yeah, better matchup. You're going to have to manipulate a lot of shots with the Heat because damn if Jimmy Butler going to beat them by himself. He ain't. Our 2 historic teams. They're 2 historic teams. All they got to do is turn off Jordan Poole and Wiggins magnets, especially Pools. Whoops. Who wins championship league tomorrow, Liverpool or Real Madrid? Anyone in the chat? No, I don't. I don't know. I was just about to watch Australian rules football before I came on here. That's what I started watching because it's tomorrow afternoon in Australia. Heat gonna need manipulation to beat him. Oh, absolutely. And Lowry with his ass. This is what I don't understand. When Lowry's in there, you notice they don't go at him. You remember how they set up to go at Chris Paul? They set up to go at Curry, Cleveland, or the Lakers did, or when LeBron last faced Curry, they kept going. When LeBron was with Cleveland, they kept going at Curry. Wherever Curry guarded, they would, switch off and kept going at him. Why didn't they go after Lowry? He coming off an injury. He can't guard nobody, and yet you never saw them screen roll to go at him. So you see how they fix it? He should have been the main one they went after. Didn't see that. We see that happen in the next game. Yeah, Lowry need magnets. He definitely does. Lowry will score. He'll score with help. I don't understand the Lakers head coach hiring Darvin. Yeah, Darvin is a good pick, though. Darvin played with LeBron. And he's put in the Heat need manipulation. Yeah, Darvin put in the work. He put in the work. That's why they got him. Lowry desperately needs, Lowry can't shoot. Let's go Heat. Miami 2022. I don't think so. Look back at the NBA players' picks. Jimmy, the only one with diamond earrings in his pick. They call it this diamond season. That's funny. And remember, Michael Jordan had everybody wearing the hoops in the ears, Good point on Lowry. Yeah, they never went at him, and that surprised me. And they never ran the offense like that. And that's what I would have done. And that's what all the other teams have done is look who's the weak link out there, and you make him guard one-on-one. They didn't do that. You never saw him switch to be on Brown. You didn't see him switch to be on Tatum. I mean, they never isolated him. So, makes you wonder. Celtics 6-2 on the road this postseason. That's a good point. Max Struts 3. Bam could play big, but he's so soft. Remember, I talked about the last game that he won. How Bam all of a sudden had a pull-up, had a mid-range. Where did his mid-range game go tonight? How all of a sudden he can't have a mid-range game? He forgot Bam was out there at points. So with the success with the Green in New Orleans and the Celtics coach and now Ham, do you think they might be the new coaching way? I just think dudes that got passed over the last few years is finally getting their just. As I said, they passed over Bob McAdoo, and Bob McAdoo probably I think he got both rings with the Heat when they won down there back-to-back. I mean, and he never got a chance to be a head coach. And now he's probably too old to be a head coach. Bob McAdoo probably, as I was guessing, he's got to be in his 70s. Bob McAdoo's older than Magic. I want to say, Bob McAdoo probably older than 10 years to me. So Bob McAdoo got to be 72, 73. So a lot of times in coaching, that's a little too old. But Yeah, I hope he keeps going like that. You know, let these dudes that got passed over, because a lot of them dudes got passed over. Yeah, they definitely threw a curveball with that game. I bet Miami outright. Brown only had 2 field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. The fix was in. Oh, yeah. And you know, I'll say another one that guys during Lobo's broadcast was saying. You know, sometimes the players remind you of video game players. Did y'all notice all the spins dudes was doing? Like Tatum all of a sudden is doing spins. It was one time Tatum hit a couple different spins, and then the next time down, Lowry hit a spin. This dude never does spins. And I'm like, what is going on? Like Tatum is constantly spinning all of a sudden on dudes. But then I saw Lowry do it, and I'm like, and that's what Lobo and them was saying. Like sometimes they play like somebody's controlling them to play. It's just really odd. The chances of seeing the double spin like that is very, very low. Very low. Celtics will win. Randy says Celtics will win this series, but they were 125 before game 1 with way more bets on the Heat. The Heat, Vegas will cash in when they're eliminated. No, that's a good point for the early bet. Thank you for that share. Chemical, do you think they are putting Zion on ice for a reason? Yeah, I don't get that one. You remember they had a thing of sitting top picks for a long time. I don't know. It's just if you look at him, this dude really didn't know how to run. He really didn't know how to jump and land. And I just think without teaching him that, he's probably going to be a risk because of just the way no one taught him how to run. Like the dude, I've said again, the dude on TikTok that made fun of him was spot on. I mean, the dude just did not appear like anyone ever taught him how to run. And for his size, but yeah, he's on ice and he could have been played. So I'm not sure why. He's still young, but not sure why holding him out for so long. I don't know. Yeah, the NBA has no parity. No, the NBA don't even know how to show a close game. Not really. Not really. Not a believable one. The elites were in the press box pushing the B button. It's funny. When you play the sports video games, you'll notice the real games on TV is similar. Sports video games are scripted also. Of course they are. Of course they are. They're pre-programmed. But yeah, that Zion one is a hard thing to look at. They're keeping him out for some reason. But I think that's a part of the reason too. NBA, the United, what is it? United Drills of American Facts. There you go. Scripted for Jimmy Butler to win NBA Finals. I don't think so. We'll see. We'll see. Especially 2K. There's a 50-50 chance because the Celtics never lost 2 in a row in the playoffs this year. That's a good point, Danville. That's a good point. NBA garbage is scripted, and they are. It has not been fun to watch. I'll say that. Most of the time I watched a hockey game. The Blues got knocked out. The Avalanche knocked them out 3-2. Scored. They scored with 6 seconds left. 6 seconds left in the third period, and they score. What is the odds? They all, yeah. Really isn't, but go off and have fun. That's why I don't play as much anymore. But that's just what came to mind. Watching them both do those kind of plays and then seeing Lowry do it, I was like, when does he spin like that? So I thought that was odd. And it just made me remember what Lobo and some of his subscribers were saying. So I don't know. Kind of weird. Isn't it kind of weird? I wanted Blues to win versus the Avs. Me too. Especially the way they put it on my Wild. I thought they had a good team, but I didn't think the Avs was as good. But yeah, they lost tonight. But I won a little money on that game. That's one of the few things I bet on was that game. Like maybe they're trying to buy time until LeBron retires. Once he retires, they bring the new era in officially. Could be. But LeBron ain't gonna retire until he play with his son. Avs injured. The Blues starting Goldie. Yeah, they did. Yep, they sure did. Do you believe Deshaun Watson is going through the humiliation ritual? I don't believe in anything, but he's definitely going through it. Well, he's definitely going through it. And you're going to have to pay him something. You ain't going to have to pay him another. Lowry's another choker. Not really. I've never been really impressed with him. Definitely scripted. Yeah. Oilers, Lightning, Stanley Cup. Could be. Because the Lightning, the Colorado got to play the Lightning in the Eastern Conference. Why trade Dragic for Lowry still blows me. Yeah, that made no sense. I agree. Heat ain't winning the Giants finals. Heat ain't winning the finals. Yeah. Thanks to you waking up about the system, I stopped playing fantasy sports, staying up late. I have my energy back. Well, I'm glad, Edward. I'm glad you are. As I said before, growing up around Magic, I was just crazy about the Lakers. And, I started liking the Lakers once Wilt went to the Lakers. I always was a fan of Wilt. And especially when the Lakers got Magic, I knew, but just studying the system more and more became more obvious what's going on. It's nothing but Globetrotter basketball. It's scripted for Jimmy Butler. I don't think so. You done said that about 10 times. Boston winning it all. Jay, I don't know, Jay. I still think it's the Warriors. It's all scripted for Curry. That's what I think, too. Green machine on hold or gold. Green machine. Picking Warriors is a trap. I don't know. I'm going to pick them to win in 4. Now, I ain't seen him play live. I saw him play on TV a lot, but no, I never got to see him live. But I was just saying, once he went to the Lakers, I was still a fan. I watched him play on TV, though, quite a bit. He was the only dude I ever saw block at the time is Lou Alcindor. No, it was Kareem by then. Even his rookie year, he was still Kareem. But Wilt blocked this shit. Kareem Wilt was beat that shit back. They played hard against each other. They broke at one point. Remember, the Bucks broke it used to be 32 game win streak. That's what it was for a long time. Now they changed it to 33 game win streak by the 72 Lakers. And the Bucks is the one to beat them. Oscar Robertson and Kareem is the ones that broke the streak. But the game between Kareem and Wilt on TV was great games. It was really great games. I said Wilt blocked this sky hook, and the look on Kareem's face when he did that shit was like nobody else could do it. And then this is Kareem was like 21, 22. Wilt was well in his 30s. And Wilt beat his shit. But yeah, I watched a bunch of old games. Bunch of old games. The local channels, even before like cable, really the local the Detroit channel always showed the Pistons, and WGN in Chicago always showed the Bulls games. Bob Love, Butterbean Bob Love. Bob Love was a cat, couldn't even read or write. When Bob Love money was gone from basketball, he had to declare bankruptcy and started working washing dishes and shit, and they discovered he couldn't read or write. Here's a man that signed multiple professional contracts. How you signing contracts? How you got a manager and you can't read or write? The dude learned to read or write in his like late 30s, early 40s. How he get to college? He had to go to college back then. How'd he go to college? You can look up Bob Love and see where he went to college. But yeah, I watched on TV. Definitely saw him play on TV a lot. Boston ain't winning. Yeah, skipping on me. Okay, you taking Real Madrid? That was my first thought too. I don't really handle it a lot. As a rookie coach, NBA title in his first season, I can't recall. What's his name? Boston or the Warriors coach. He won a rookie in his first season. Dude took Mark Jackson's place. He won his first year. Rookie coach, didn't he? Steve Kerr, the one who sacrificed his daddy. You know, his daddy got sacrificed in Iran. Before they took the hostages, they killed his daddy. You think they ain't got nothing to do with it? Yeah, so I think Steve Kerr is one. There was another one. Talking about Real Madrid chat league. Very true. The real father Jimmy is Michael. Yeah, PJ must be off. He out. He ain't checked in. Compare Butler to Michael Jordan. Yeah, you can kind of. They're about the same size dudes. Did Wade do a ritual for Miami? Not yet. I mean, he did a ritual with his son. Butler's a fake superstar. He's never winning the ring. I don't think so either. Why not? They're related. I just don't think at this point in time they're gonna let them win. Not this year. I don't think so. Don't seem like it. Don't seem like they're gonna win this year. But we'll see. Well, I really didn't have a lot to go on tonight. You know, I've just been enjoying the day at a time today. Been moving around a little bit. So I didn't have a whole lot. The game, you know, as I said, to show the manipulated shots over and over and over again, people get tired. I mean, it does help me to make more videos, but just receiving the information, it's overkill sometimes. So it just sometimes I see it, but it's like they are related apparently. This is the universe telling you to cash out. Cash out your heat bets. It's funny because it's Curry's year. Not hard to see. I think it's Curry's year too. The national commercials is kind of one tail. That is one tail, but we'll see. And Clay. I mean, think of the last time you had two teammates that both had national commercials going. The Clay's commercials are newer. Some of Curry's commercials was from last year. And it's just funny looking at the old Super Bowl commercials that have made it through the years. You know, Little Sweet was a Super Bowl commercial because if you look at Little Sweet's commercial for Dr. Pepper and look at the TV screen behind him, it's trying to show, the Super Bowl. But it's like, it's funny that the commercials that live long enough, One of the longest running super commercials was, what is that nasty body spray called? But that commercial has been running for 2 or 3 years. That was a Super Bowl commercial. Axe body spray. That was a Super Bowl commercial. This ain't getting it. Yeah, Vaca. Thank you, Axe. Yeah. Everybody in the truth community who say Celtics would win Game 6 are very quiet. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, Axe. Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. Yep, Axe. That's been a long run. That's about a 4-year-old Super Bowl commercial. It sounds like you're in the wrong truth. I'm not in the truth community. Everyone thought Celtics was going to win. Yeah, I did too. But I kind of listened to what Lobo said too. What Lobo said made sense. He was like, they're gonna let them let Curry rest a little more, which makes the Warriors, little older team, they definitely need a little more rest. So that I thought about that too. I was like, yeah, and that's what Lobo called it. He definitely called it. So if you take Miami, you're gonna win. Yeah, I don't see that happening. I don't. They made it interesting tonight, but as they were showing, who's gonna score? If Jimmy don't score 47, what's gonna happen? He don't score 47. What happened? Oops. I ain't got no scores. And you're gonna say Bam all of a sudden gonna get a mid game again? Lowry, come on, get out of here. Elgin Baylor had a 61-point game versus the Celtics in the playoffs. He lost though. When he had a 61-point game, I think he lost. Michael Jordan had a 63-point game against the Celtics and lost. Elgin Baylor, when Elgin Baylor had 63 points, he had 20 rebounds. Or excuse me, when he had 61 points against the Celtics, he had 21 rebounds. Playing Elgin Baylor, like I said, they love that 6'6" dude. Dr. J, Michael Jordan, Jimmy Butler. I mean, they love that to be the face. Kawhi Leonard. They love the 6'6" dudes. And that goes back to Elgin Baylor. That's their prototype. Maybe that's, they blackball Connie Hawkins and Roger Brown. But both of them, well, Roger Brown was 6'6". Connie Hawkins was more like 6'8". Roger Brown, the man of 1,000 moves, smoked squares, played NBA or ABA basketball, 10 years in the ABA and smoked cigarettes. How you do that? Riley's the godfather. That's funny. Jimmy got to put up 40 every game for them to win, and he ain't doing that every game. Warriors got home advantage, not Miami. There you go. Kawhi 6'7". Yeah, still see that size though, because of the number. He's 6'7". Yeah, still though. That size is still the prototypes. 6'6", 6'7" is still that. Grant Hill was 6'8". But as I said before, Grant Hill was a taller Michael Jordan. So, they like that size guy. They like putting the league behind them type of people. So that's just the history. The history is kind of how the NBA does it. But that was the prototype of people. That's why if you look at Michael Jordan's rookie year and you look at the pictures of Michael Jordan and Dr. J 6'6", Michael Jordan probably like 6'5.5", because Dr. J in them pictures is taller than Michael Jordan. And Dr. J, Jordan was wearing the Nike. No, he's probably wearing and PJ would know. Dang, I know the name of the Nikes too. He ain't wearing the Jordans. He's wearing the Nikes. Dr. J wearing the flat ass Cons, the leather Cons. They made the Cons leather, but didn't change the cushion of the shoe. Who do you think is the most hated player in NBA history? Probably Kermit Washington, when he broke Rudy Tomjanovich's face. They blackballed him. And then he did some fraud. He spent 3-4 years in prison for fraud, but I think him. Jabbar too. I mean, they hated Jabbar. He was so aloof, didn't like the press. And then he tried to coach, and they blackballed him from coaching. I mean, they blackballed him so bad where he ended up taking a high school job on a reservation. He couldn't even get a normal high school job. You'd have thought his high school would offer him the job, or UCLA. Shit, you look at all the players that UCLA hired back. As I was talking about Larry Farmer when he coached Loyola in Chicago. Larry Farmer wasn't nothing but assistant coach. So you saying UCLA is alma mater that he won 3 titles at, didn't give Jabbar a chance? Walt Hazzard coached at UCLA. The name goes on. Steve Alford, which went to Indiana, got to coach UCLA. But Jabbar never got a chance to coach UCLA. He was blackballed. But I'd say probably Kermit Alexander. Sports gets more obvious and scripted and rigged every year. It's like the WWE. We live in the Matrix, ran by the elite, and all the bots don't realize that. Well, that's what we're trying to wake up some minds. Good point, though. Good point. This year's playoffs have been boring. I agree. The blowouts don't do them any good in their ratings. KD is the most hated player. Okay. You could even say LeBron at one time. When LeBron went to Miami, he was the most hated player. I think Ewing would be successful at Georgetown. What's your take? Well, to be successful, you got to really relate well to parents and the networking aspect of how to get to parents, and now as handlers, of course, as handlers. You've got to be active in the transfer portal. You got to see who wants to move around and who fits your system. Even though they're scripted, you still want them to fit what you're trying to do. So, but long as I don't know. I think they'll stay with him. I think they'll stay with Ewing. I hope he doesn't get fired. Miami Heat was 325, easy bet. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm actually interested in your pick would be after this one is proved wrong. Was LeBron hated recently over the China tweets? Yeah, that's another good point, Vaca. Yeah. But LeBron went to Miami and he said, I want to take my talents. And, LeBron was spending his high school moment. LeBron never got to do that for college. He just went to the NBA. That's why he did that thing. I'm going to take my talent. That's what high school dudes was saying. So, well, they paid a lot of money and, it was a good tax write-off for LeBron to do that. So, former Pat Riley will make sure Miami wins. Pat's been well rewarded, though. Pat's well rewarded. So, Pat got rewarded with LeBron and them. So, Pat will get rewarded again. Natural immunity. Where'd you go? LeBron PEDs in South Beach. I can't say yay or nay. LeBron is loved more than hated. Yeah, I would kind of say that too. People love LeBron. That's why we lost Game 5 so we could win Game 7 at home. Pat got a successful career. He does. He was actually, he's touched a lot of, he played in that Kentucky game against, it's called Texas Western. It's called Texas Western. He played in that game. He played for racist ass Adolph Rump, high school All-American player. College All-American player Pat Riley played for 4 or 5 NBA teams, won a championship with the Lakers. And it looked like, on some humbug stuff, he got into coaching on some humbug stuff. Dude takes a spill on the bike and gave him opportunity. And then the following year, they didn't want to play for Westhead. Magic said he was going to quit. Magic was like, trade me. That's what was in the papers. And next year, Magic was like, trade me. And then Magic got hurt. But by then, they got Riley in because they didn't like Westhead. Westhead, I think is his name. And he ended up going to, he had Hank Gathers in there, right? Yeah. Where Hank Gathers played. And what is the dude? He was in heaven. No, what was he in the? Hank Gathers. What was the other guard's name that he would shoot left-handed? And Hank Gathers was probably a type of sacrifice, So Hank Gathers died right on TV during the game. And he admitted that he didn't like taking the medication because he said it made him feel funny. He was going to be a lottery pick. Warriors going to the finals 6 times in 8 years mean that there's no party. Ain't going to be no party for Boston or the Heat. Oh, my cheer's killing me. It's killing me, Scotty. It's killing me. Bo Kimball. Yeah, Bo Kimball, Loyola Marymount. Yeah, that's where he ended up. That's where he had his success over there. He didn't really have success in the NBA. They got him up out of there. Magic was like, trade me. I ain't playing for him no more. Next day, Westhead was out of there, and then he went to Loyola Marymount. But I'm pretty sure he was a coach when Gathers died. Some people wonder why was Gathers even playing. But he was definitely a type of sacrifice. Light-skinned party. Light-skinned party. That's funny. Celtics haven't been to the finals since 2008. That's a while ago. It really is. And I don't think they're going to get rewarded this year either. Don't think they'll be rewarded. I don't know. Hank Gathers, whatever he was saying, to get his heart rhythm right, they put Hank Gathers on all that medication. And when you read, they asked him about it, and he said he felt funny taking the health medication for Hank Gathers. I don't know if you remember that, but that's what he said. He said he didn't really like taking it. So some speculated the game he died in that he didn't take his meds. That's what they put out there. They didn't think he took his meds that day before the game. I was just wondering how he was even playing with that heart condition. Because, dudes to be 6'8" to 6'11", that's a weird kind of thing. People born, what's it called, Melfrat syndrome or something like that. As I said, it's a woman named Florence that died on the volleyball bench. Volleyball, they rotate in and out. She rotated out and went sat down, and she died on the bench of the same heart ailment. I think it's Malfree syndrome or something like that. But a lot of people beyond 6'8", like 6'8" to 6'10", have these holes in their heart, weak hearts, and so some cats can't play. It was one of the top guys in the country, and they end up. I don't know if they lied to him or whatever to make him not play, but he quit playing because of it. But that Florence chick died the same way Hank Gathers died, from the same exact thing, because she was like 6'8", volleyball player. Florence something. I don't remember her last name. 2010. Okay. Alchemist. Starting to think the league is running out of good scripted stories. That's a good point. That's a good point. It just makes you wonder. Miami Heat is the dynasty. Vitamin E and CoQ10 are great for the heart. Thank you for sharing that. Heat didn't have the same players on every chip like the Spurs. Well, the Heat had Shaq and Wade, and then they had LeBron and Wade. So who did the Spurs have other than you had Duncan and Ginobili, and you had Tony Parker, which, the whole team was really to give the, Charles Barkley talk shit. Charles Barkley said the only reason the European players is over here is because they need butts in the seats, European butts in the seats. That's why the European-born European players was pushed over here. Barkley talked shit about it. And then the next week, he's talking about Ginobili, my favorite European-born players, Ginobili, because they got in his ass for saying that shit. And he told the truth, though. He's like, that's the only reason they over here. They corrected him later, but he told the truth. They're over here because that is putting butts in the seats. They don't care where you come from, long as you look like them. If an alien came and could hoop and he looked European, they would let him hoop. They would argue that he should be able to hoop. All they care is that it looked like him. American people are pretty simple. We don't care they got these Nazi haircuts and they represent Nazis, but we sending money to Nazis anyway. So right now we sending money to Nazis. Same players. Even in the early 2000s was good. Now you see from a mile away. It was crooked back then too. It's always been crooked. Yeah, NBA script is Warriors getting old. They are. Rams was old. That's funny. That is funny. Rams was old. Spoelstra will outcoach the Celtics. Yeah, Spoelstra. Yeah, okay. Why Spoelstra get the chance? Why he get the chance? He got picked over Bob McAdoo too. Spoelstra was another one got picked over Bob McAdoo, because when Pat was still coaching, Bob McAdoo was one of his assistants. Did Bob McAdoo get put in that position? No, he jumped Spoelstra over Bob McAdoo. So you tell me Spoelstra put in the work. He started as the video dude. And he gets to be the coach over Bob McAdoo. Now you tell me that ain't some kind of script. Yeah. Coach Spies, Pat protege. Yeah, probably some kind of family relation. Why ain't Bob McAdoo get that job? Gave it to Spoelstra instead of Bob McAdoo. So it's just like we see it with the Ursays. We see the Ursays, the Grudens. These families be 3-4 generations in the sport. Heat has been to 6 finals since 2006. The fact is, there isn't only American Caucasian NBA players to showcase now. Luka, but who else? One generation. Yeah, but they're going to keep bringing them. They're going to keep bringing them. They're going to keep replacing with African players too, because we don't count African players. They still foreigners. If you ain't born in America, that's who should be in the NBA only. NBA, there's enough talent where you don't need any of the Africans, not one African, because they don't get the same chances. Giannis would not have gotten drafted if he was from America. With the skills Giannis had going into college, he would have been a low college recruit. If Giannis would have grew up in America with them skills he had, he would have been a low college recruit, possibly Division II, Division III, because he did not have the skills at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He didn't have them skills. And so now one of them need to be, but they're going to bring more. The NBA backs this shit. The NBA holds camps over there. The NBA funds some of them leagues and tournaments. So the NBA's made sure their crop of the next great European-looking player is going to come. This has been a thing since I showed the Petrov, I think was his name, that they sacrificed. None of them dudes was needed. None of them guys was needed. They took somebody else's job that put their life on the NBA and played college. And you bring these what is the word for it? Minor league dudes over here. Change the rules because they traveled. You didn't put that extra step in there. European players born in Europe was going to struggle. You had to change it, to change the layup for them. Because the first ones came over here was traveling all the time. You can't pivot one way and then change your feet and then change your feet again. It's traveling. Not traveling no more. You can jump off one leg, jump on the other, and then jump again. It ain't traveling. All American players wouldn't bring in the money. That's not true. That's not true. The league has survived on that. But yeah, I would say probably, yeah. Butts in the seats, putting butts in the seats. That's a good point. American players wouldn't bring in the money. It's kept the league alive, though. They wasn't talking about bringing all them foreigners in when Michael played. It was very few. Because Michael was putting butts in the seats. Giannis just uses hype to his advantage. A lot of tall folks wouldn't use their hype to their advantage. Nah, it's more than that. It's more than that. He got his hand held. He would have got cut. Number one pick. Look at him his rookie year. Look at him. All they can show you is this dunking. That's all they can show you. There's not too many players. Matter of fact, I talked about this months ago. Look at Kwame Brown's rookie year and look at Giannis' rookie year. Look at both of their rookie years and look at their stats. Y'all jump and go look at that right now. The Euro step. Yep. Just like them pushing Trae Young to be a superstar. Yeah. As I said, look at Trae Young's first college games where he's hitting all them threes and they turned off the basket. And LeBron said, Trae, should be counting his money already. Trae going to be in the league. LeBron telling everybody, when a team wins, where did it jump to? When a team wins, they say they are world champions, but I say American champs because the only American teams to play in the league, no foreign teams having international players is not an excuse. Ghana's only good because he's from Greece and he's from Africa. They call the NBA champs the world champs because the NBA is the best league in the world. That's a good point. That is a good point. But it used to be a world championship too. Like if you go back into when the league first started, there was a world championship. The NBA champions played in the world championships. And all those 5 years in a row that George Mikan won for the Lakers when the Lakers was here in Minneapolis. Bud Grant was on one of them teams. Another actor named Chuck Connors. Y'all probably don't know who he was. But they played the world champions, I think, of out of the 5 years that the Lakers won, and the Globetrotters only lost one world champion, I think, to them. And this was in the 40s, early 50s. But I think the Lakers' first 3 champions, the Globetrotters beat them 3 years in a row for the world championship. Because the Globetrotters were still going around the country doing the trick games, but the Globetrotters could show people that they could hoop. Miami went to home. I don't think so. I'm sorry, bro. You delusional. Hey, you got to give it to him. He loves his heat. You got to give it to him. He loves his heat. So can't take that from him. And if you winning money, right on. He's a diehard. Yeah, he loves the Heat and he loves the Red Sox. He loves the Heat and the Red Sox. Thanks for the connection. Oh, anytime. Thank you for joining. But yeah, he's a Red Sox fan too. And CWE loves the Yankees. I've always liked the Yankees, but since I live here in Minnesota, I'm more of a Twins fan now, So I follow the Twins. I enjoy watching the Twins. And then Sunday night, I got to work Monday morning, so I got to work out. I'm coming on earlier, probably right after the game Sunday. So, 'cause I got to get up early. I'm working days on the holiday, getting that holiday pay. At least that's what they say. I'm a Heat fan. I'm a Heat fan as well. The only reason I believe in the Heat winning because of the connections. So that's a good point. Good way to rationalize it. I can see that. That's a good way to rationalize it. Shit, we was selling them Heat shirts when I used to go hustle down in Miami. When they first started the league, we was down there getting the jerseys, bringing it. Well, not the jerseys, but like the T-shirts, because that was what came out at first. We be down there bringing the T-shirts and back and shit, showing just got back from Miami. But seeing how the Warriors play, I think they're gonna win it all. I think so too. Miami get rewarded for the COVID bubble. Nah, they ain't. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna get rewarded this year. We'll see though. We'll definitely see. Yeah, I think the Warriors got too much firepower. And again, if Jimmy Butler doesn't score 40, how they winning? I mean, you can't ignore that. He got to score 40 for them to win. If he don't score 40, they ain't winning. So who else? Who's gonna step up? Like what they did with number what was his number? The dude who's got the light-skinned brother for the Celtics that played well tonight. He had 3 or 4 threes. Do you see how they pick these certain role players to step up, and they picked him tonight? Now the number 31 for Miami, that he's been a great role player, but he didn't play that well tonight. They was manipulating a lot of his shots, and they was highlighting him, calling them plays for him too. So they know in the earbuds, fire it up, you're gonna make it. I think Westbrook dress shame might pay off this year. I don't know. I don't know why it makes you think signing Westbrook, it makes you think they absolutely are idiots. Why would they take that contract on with him? Why did Jeannie Buss look at that contract and think this is a good idea to bring him in and give away all this talent? You traded LeBron's best shooter for a dude who can't shoot. That made no sense logically. To take on Westbrook's contract and people saying LeBron and Melo wanted him. They looked at him on paper. They looked at him on film. They broke down how he would fit with them. These dudes done played summer leagues against each other. They knew he wasn't gonna fit. But why would Jeannie Buss agree to that? If it wasn't some bullshit, why would she agree with it? It made no business sense to take on Westbrook's contract. You can't get rid of him. Ain't nobody else want to take that contract. And if the Lakers do get rid of him, it's going to be a deal where Lakers paying him and the new team paying him. It'll be that kind of deal. So it made no sense. Why was all the media proclaiming Boston going to win even before the game? Yeah, well, that's money. That's fucking with the bettors. That's why they doing that. Miami doesn't like the media. For 34 straight years, the teammate of Shaq's won the NBA championship and in 2-8. It ended in 18 when the Warriors won. I didn't know that. That kind of goes with all the Knicks players, ex-Knicks players playing in every finals. And, of course, the Knicks won 2 finals back in the 70s. They won in 70 and 75, right? Or 71 and 75? No, I want to say it's 70. Yeah, because the Lakers won in 71. So must have been 70. And that's what's funny is the Lakers lose to a crippled Willis Reed and then come back the next year and destroy him. Come back the next year, when the Lakers won the now 33, that used to be 32 in a row. Now it's 33 in a row. They destroyed the same Knicks team. Destroyed them. The same Knicks team. So make that make sense. The game before they lost the finals where Willis Reed didn't play, Wilt scored 40 points on Dave DeBusschere, dunking on him, blocking everybody's shit. And then Wilt doesn't do anything. They let Walt Frazier score 30-some points. Wilt doesn't do anything. Like Bill Russell said, I'd have knocked Willis Reed down. Willis Reed scored like 6 points in a row to start the game. Wilt stood under the basket, but I caught him doing the Mason handshake. I caught him before the game. Willis Reed, like they said, Willis Reed came out. I caught a picture of them before the game, shaking the Mason handshake, gripping their arms inside like this. It was like, well, damn, I had never caught that before. So, could be to add to level a story. LeBron's version of The Last Dance didn't want to make it work right away. So, wait a year and make it happen in 23. Yeah, when they lose like that, it's just a rest year. It's just a rest year. They've been doing that. Yeah, they give players rest years. Like if you played in the league and you under contract and you break your hand and you missing games because of broken hand, that's saving your body. That's saving your body. You can quick rehab back from a broken hand, but you're not getting beat up. So it's like it's sometimes when you're under contract and it's something like that where your skills, the injury ain't really bothering your skills, there'd be some good rest, especially NFL, NBA, be resting, be resting. So not beating up yourself on those kind of things. Yeah. So. But y'all like Original Penguin? I got a couple of these. This is probably the oldest brand I've wore. I've been getting Original Penguin shit since I was a little boy. This is the oldest brand I remember. It's Original Penguin. And that ain't really the whole name of it. It's called, the name of the company is Munson Wear. It's Original Penguin by Munson Wear. But Original Penguin, when I was a little boy in kindergarten, got little shirts like this. And then growing up, they've never not sold this stuff. They've always sold Original Penguin. It's always been sold. It's not as popular as other brands, but it's something that's always been there. Never went away. That's why it's funny. Biggie talks about, sewing the tigers and sewing the alligators in shirt. But they've always made this stuff. This stuff has never went away. Never went away. What do you think is the deal with Ben Simmons? Is he scared to play? I think it's the same thing like somebody asked with Zion. They can't protect him anymore. I mean, he can play defense, he can rebound, but if the rest of his game ain't that good, that's why I said the same thing talking about Tito Hofford. They kept showing Tito Hofford and why he wearing a mask up in there. I don't know, but it's the same way. He didn't go to a top school. He ended up going to LSU, and I think he escaped from Cuba or some shit. He played in the NBA, but he played overseas, but never, real deal. So we see that, he wasn't a real deal, so his son could be. We see how that worked out. But I think the same thing with Simmons as a Zion. It's just, where do they fit? Where do they fit? But I think Zion is a health thing, too. I mean, it's just didn't know how to run. Nobody taught him how to shoot, as long as he was bigger than everybody. Like, they're showing a big dude now. He's 6'8", he's 6'9", 6'10", 13, 14-year-old, but they got him shooting J's, Got him shooting J's. So and Zion, when I was arguing people on Facebook about Zion, you did not see any of his highlights, him shooting J's, his dunking and shit. Remember the young dude that's in the G League now? He's on the Lakers teams, McCourty. Remember he transferred to Texas Tech from Georgetown? Remember all his videos was just him dunking and shit? Not trying to develop the full game. Parents not, he's such a good dunker. We'll just let him go. Nobody's saying we need to see him shoot threes consistently at your size. That dude only 5'11", 6'6'1" at the most. He hanging on in the G League, though, the Lakers G League. Who do you think? Yeah, so he's just exposed. And I think it's a shaming because he was exposed that he can't really play. He should have never got the chance. He should have never been a number one overall pick. He was all hype. Hit him down there so nobody would be exposed to big time games because he couldn't have played in a big pressure Final Four, Elite Eight. He'd have been exposed then. So nobody would have believed he could have been the number one pick because they're like, who the hell is this dude that won't shoot? So you see how they hit him? And you can look at his Australian games because he played in that same pro league that Ball and all them played in that same pro league. Been exposed. He never really could shoot. Good defender though. good like magic in every way, but just not to score. So I think it's another dude that until they find a way to integrate him to make his game believable, he might sit. I think Zion is really they're scared of because of the way he's not athletic. He's a basketball player. He's not an athletic dude. He's a basketball player. And basketball players' skills diminish quicker than athletes because basketball players, Dominic Wilkins wants to jump in. He tore his Achilles. He had a decent season after that. But again, this was a basketball player, not an athlete. Athletes last longer. Vince Carter was a good athlete, not just a basketball player. But you see a lot of basketball players, when them skills diminish, that's it. Carmelo's a prime example of that, as not being a great athlete, but just being a basketball player. Now, he benefits from nutrition, personal trainers, all that kind of thing. So he's going to be the next Anthony Bennett. The next Anthony Bennett, yeah. Coaches in high school basketball sucked. I tried to wear 73 because I am a Knicks fan from New York, and that's when they won the chip. 73, not 75. Coach wouldn't let me wear it for whatever reason, so I had to wear 37. It was some BS. Damn, you guys had number 37? Not all of them. No, a lot of them ain't. The other ball brother, I think, is getting blackballed. He's actually decent. But you know what? That's why they did that China shit. What's better? What's better? And I've said this many times. What's better? To have a child killed or have a child humiliated and he don't make the league? What's better? To take his blood or humiliate him and make sure he don't make the league? That's what they did with the middle brother. And I said this, I think at the beginning of this channel, I was saying, which one is going to be, the mother has been sick for a number of years. And so we know that she's going to be, they're going to do her blood because she's been sickly for years. But you looked at those three and you just couldn't see all three pushing through. And then we saw the humiliation ritual in China. I mean, that's what that was. It's like, okay, we either going to kill one of these boys or you put them through this. And so the ball's like, look, sorry, son, we got to do this. But you can play in, play in Europe, play all over the world. You just can't play NBA. Play in the G League. Play in China. I don't know if they want him back in China, but he's playing somewhere. But he won't get the NBA. But that's better than dying. It's better than dying. And that's the compromise they did, because you just know the pattern. Look up this shit. That Saving Private Ryan shit. 7 brothers got killed on the submarine. Like, who was stupid enough to put all the family members like that? Somebody had to look and know the same names right there, and somebody had to okay it. So, well, I'm not feeling very enthusiastic tonight. I have a lot to add. I didn't have a lot to add. I really didn't have a lot to say. And so I'm reading Divination. And tonight's card is Chichen. And Chichen is a serpent. The qualities of vitality, passion, sensing, body wisdom, motivation, desire, instinct, creativity, serpent, kundalini, interrogation, purification, intimacy, pattern that connects, the connector. Symbol, coiled snake arising from molten maga from the base chakra. Number 5, the center. Colors, flaming vermilion. Oh my goodness, I need a suit made out of flaming vermilion. I must have said that joke every time, but damn, this would be a cold suit. Herbs is cayenne. Flower is poppy. Flower essence is flame of the florist, and scent is musk. Stones are cornelian, orange citrine. It's an earth element, and the direction is out of the east. So if you need to push tomorrow, the direction's out of the east. And the shadow wisdom is unresolved anger, making predictable choices based on familiarity and security rather than intuitive wisdom. Over-identification with the body and its sensitive sensual desires. But the way you can transform it is use the body as a tool for transformation. Learn how to use passion and the senses as a means of access and alignment to higher consciousness. Follow your gut level intuitions and instincts to make the choices in the moment. It's up tempo, and the mantra is hands coming together at the abdomen, moving in and out above the head like a snake. And you say, I am the flint and the tinder of the sacred fire. I am the joyful accents and experience the wisdom of vitality held in my body. Man, where do they get these colors from? Flaming vermilion. Wow. Red orange. Give me some red orange gators. Patrick Ewing only ended up in the NBA in New York because the NBA rigged the lottery. Not complaining, Ewing is the best thing that ever happened to us. Starks could have definitely led his own team. Yeah, they did the frozen envelope. They froze the envelope so when Stearns took his hand in there, he knew that he could get it. A sacrifice for the two other brothers' success. Yeah, absolutely, Danville. Yeah, instead of killing him. Yep. Whoops. Whoa. Oh, here we go. Fake Curry became the three-point shooting thing as soon as they fixed his ankle. Then Gold State became the team to beat. Well, as soon as it happened in college, though. There's no way that team should have made the Final Four. There's no way that team should have made the Final Four. Yet that team made the Final Four with Curry. They banked their money on Seth. Seth went to another college and Seth transferred to Duke. The money was on Seth. Look at Steph's career. He went to the College of Charleston. Nobody was knocking their door down for him. They was knocking their door down for Seth. Not for him. Seth was the one they thought. Not him. And he ended up bigger than Seth. And that's some shit. But you saw the manipulation if you remember his Final Four run with that school. No way. No way that team should have made the Final Four. Couldn't make it without it being manipulated. So I'm going to leave y'all with Mora. Mora is the same from the Time Walkers. It all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland, and they knew that they had an exact number of years and days before they would disappear off the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. But then the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the Great Serpent. And as the mind would always say, I am another yourself. What do you think about Barry Bonds being left out of the Hall of Fame? Ortiz is in, so should Barry Bonds still literally say baseball? Yeah, we talked about that many times. His bat and ball and jersey is in the Hall of Fame for the most home runs in the season. His bat, ball, and jersey is in the Hall of Fame for most home runs all time, but he doesn't have a plaque. Same with Pete Rose. Jersey, bat, ball is in the Hall of Fame for most hits, but they don't have a plaque. So if you're in the history of the game, you're in the Hall of Fame. So it's a shaming of Barry Bonds. I mean, they needed that to bring baseball back. Baseball went on strike and missed the World Series. So what happens? They juice the balls. Creatine is right in Mark McGwire's. You can look up those interviews and you see creatine right in his locker, which is a steroid. So not really bad for you either. You know, a lot of drug addicts take that shit to get off of drugs. So, or maybe I'm thinking of mixing that up. Probably mixing it up. So that, yeah, it'd say baseball, no doubt. Same with hockey. Hockey went on strike and people didn't care. Then they came back with the streak in hockey puck. People didn't care. When there was no World Series, people didn't care. And when it was no NHL, people didn't care. And it was hard for hockey to come back. It was really hard for hockey to come back. Baseball, juice the balls, let them use steroids, got balls flying out, say baseball. Think you asked that question before. Some are, not all. Some are. I mean, if you look at a lot of brothers, the way they'll do their masonry is join the frats. And the frats set them up to see if they're going to be boule or not. So before being masons, the frats have let them be boule. Because frats is, frats, where do you think they get the hand signs in frats and sororities? Where do hand signs come from? They're all mason shit. Why do gangs use the same mason hand signs? I mean, what do you think gangs are? There's always cheating nowadays. They're stopping and checking pictures for the sticky stuff because it's become such an issue. That's smoke screen. That's all that is. Just like trying to blame the athletics. They want to tell you just one team cheats. See, if they tell you just one team does it and they penalize that team, that makes the stupid people think that the rest of the league don't cheat because hey, they caught that one team. They don't play cheating in baseball. That is just all show. There ain't no truth or reality and none of that. Nothing you can believe in. Don't believe in nothing. Nowhere. Let me move on. So yeah, that's just smoke screen and stuff. That ain't real. That ain't real. Just like the Astros stuff. It ain't real. They ain't take the Astros World Series away, did they? If it was real and they was convicted of cheating, they should have took their World Series away. They didn't do that though, did they? Nope. So now I know when Yankees was up 3-0 and Boston came back and won 4 straight to win the World Series. I was part of that. Yeah. I mean, look at Boone, the coach. Wasn't it he hit a walk-off home run in game 5 or 6 of that series? That wasn't believable. That really wasn't believable. And I'm a Yankees fan, and that's back when Derek Jeter was playing. That shit was like, y'all on some bullshit. Just like when Arizona, I talked about this last week, when Arizona won the World Series over the Yankees. That shit was not believable at all. You got a pitcher that don't give up hits, and all of a sudden he's giving up hits to trash players. It's like if you go back to Kirk Gibson, when Kirk Gibson gets a hit against Dennis Eckersley, Kirk Gibson is hurt. He was going back and go put his clothes on because he was hurt. And you want us to believe that he can hit a key hit hurt or hit a home run or whatever he did to beat Eckersley. Come on, that shit wasn't real. That was some Willis Reed shit. It was like what Kirk Gibson did was a reenactment of what Willis Reed did. Come back, get the shot and come back out there and perform, baby. And then they make fun of the sacredness and try to take it as their own by making the sacredness they field of dreams. They know it's magic in sports, and so they try to claim the magic that was created in South America. They call it Field of Dreams. Well, there's some spiritual stuff. See, Field of Dreams is our spiritual stuff. There is spiritual stuff to it, Field of Dreams. Not telling you that, as I've said before, and I'm the only one on this motherfucker to tell you, the ball field is part of the creation stories of the Americas. When the shit was created, the ball field was one thing that was part of it. And I've learned this in the last couple of months myself. But I already know the sacredness, studying the Hero Twins and the way the game's put out there. They took away the 2013 NCAA championship away. I forgot the team they took it away from. Louisville. They took it away from Louisville. It wasn't even bad. It's literally still inside. Yeah, exactly. I think it was Louisville they took it away from. Louisville or Arkansas, but I want to say it's Louisville. When the dude broke his ankle real bad, it was that championship. Yeah, they could have taken it away from the Astros. Why not? When the Black Sox scandal, the Reds won it. Black Sox didn't win it, so it was nothing they could take away. And that's back when they played 10 games for the World Series. I don't know what happened from a 5-5 tie if both teams win 5 games, but it was like 10-game World Series. So, but if you study Ty Cobb said every World Series from 2012 up until the Black Sox, he said all of them. And Ty Cobb played in 3 or 4 of them. He was saying all of them was rigged, which, that's how they started. It's always been. None of the sports have ever been, never. I've got right here the first 50 years in the NFL, okay? First 50 years, original one was made. This is the 74 edition. I think the 50 years was the 73 edition. 72 or 73 edition. My original book, I bought this later, but my original Christmas gift, it wasn't a little book like this. It was a much bigger book. But since the beginning, created by gamblers, heavy gamblers, it was never free. Never free. It's always been a corruption to it. So as I said before, I'm another yourself. Treat everybody as they are yourself. And if those of you that will rest, may you rest well. May the things around you protect you from any of this bullshit, this, getting in your dreams. write your dreams down. If there's something bothering you, write your dreams down. And I'm pretty good at dream interpretations, but um, write your dreams down and then try to break down what it means. But just know that you shouldn't be bothered. And what you put in your house is enough to protect you. You just got to turn everything on. If you're at work, may your shift go smooth. May you be safely to your destination after work. Because that's a thing too. Be tired the motherfucker and then got to drive. Like when I was a cop, I worked 12 hours, then had to drive home an hour. Yeah. That was the sacrifice I made. Oh, good night. Good night, dear. Thank you for watching. I think he made it be able to disappear. 1919 is technically the only that is officially revealed as fixed, but I doubt it's the one that actually fixed. Yeah, all of them. Ty Cobb said all of them leading up to there. All of them was fixed leading up to there from 1912. Well, all of them was, so. But yeah, rest well. Remember, love just is. Love has no opposite. Love and hate ain't the same thing. They try to tack it on, it ain't. Love and hate is not the same thing. It's not the opposite. They just try to take away love. Love is supreme by itself, and love just is. I was so like you hear a lot of people say, "Well, if he loves me, I love you back." That ain't love. Love means you love regardless. They love you back or not. If you're in love with somebody, you're just in love with them. I mean, it's a bonus if they love you back. That's a bonus. But that's, love. Love has no opposite, no expectations. It's love without expectations. That's real love. It's like I had to get in it and not really get in it with my daughter's mother, but I just had to point some shit out like this shit ain't cool. And I'm telling you this shit ain't cool because I do love you. Not love you, want to be with you, but got your back. But this shit right here ain't cool. And you got to take care of this. And it got her upset and stuff. And I'm like, this got to be taken care of. Because also, again, as I started the show, I'm a parent too. And from a parent's perspective, I've got to have that hat on too. Yes, I am your friend, but from the parent's perspective, you got to tighten up. You got to tighten up. And I'm telling you that as a friend. And so sometimes some of those conversations are hard. People don't want to hear shit, but it's like, it's got to be talked about. Some things just got to be talked about. Well, y'all, this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. Thank you for coming to watch me. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it, guys. I mean, this is, this channel has grown, and the viewers, every time I come on here, people got a lot to say, a lot to trade with me. I appreciate that. Appreciate you got something to say, enough for an hour and a half or whatever of comments. I appreciate that. I do. And I try to be very reactive with people, interactive with people. It's funny when I would try to get people to call in, you couldn't get anybody to call in hardly. I think Brother Edward, he called in a few times, but it was like couldn't get people to call in. So, well, brothers, sisters, friends, this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I'm your funky host. Let me see. I was asking about Reese Gaines. He was a star guard at Louisville some years back. Ah, okay. Yeah, they took it from Louisville. They took it from Louisville back then. Reese Gaines. I can't remember the dude who hurt his ankle, if that was his name. I don't remember. But yeah, they took it from Louisville back then. So, yeah, because what's his name? Coach P, whatever his name was, he was coaching there when they took it from him. Yeah. Can't think of his name. The dude used to coach Boston. So, well, this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I'm your super funky host, Big Pontiac, A-Wind, Time Lord. I take it all. Definitely till we meet again. I'll be on here tomorrow night. Say less.